I like to try to blend science and art. In my professional life at the time, about a decade ago, I was doing outreach work for the public health department. And it was going into people's homes and gathering their stories and interviewing them and finding that their stories were more interesting and marvelous than anything I could ever make up. So it dawned on me one day as I was driving way up there in Grigla that maybe I should put their stories to song. And that really opened up a large segment of time for me, and I have numerous stories then of people put into song. And what was marvelous about it was that I would later then, on subsequent visits, bring my guitar and sing their song for them. And it was marvelous for me, and I hope it was marvelous for them, and most of them, all of them, have said that they enjoyed it very much to be written up in song. So this song, Marguerite, she was born in the French-speaking portion of Belgium. She spoke 4 languages. She spoke Spanish. Her father was from Spain. She spoke French. She spoke Flamand, or Flemish, and she spoke English. And she was a teenager during World War II. And she told the stories of living in the sewers and in the tunnels under the city to avoid the bombs. She told the stories of her peers being lured by the German soldiers with money and clothing and food, and how those poor women were publicly shunned on the streets with their heads shaved. Remember those stories? There's been a movie made of it. She proudly said, "I resisted. I was tempted, but I resisted." She met her husband, her future husband, on the streets of her city, home city, Haines, St. Pierre. He was a U.S. soldier, AWOL, and intoxicated. He proudly would say, "I was there saving the world from Hitler." They largely, hugely downplayed his dishonorable discharge and lamented that he had no veteran medical benefits. They had to get permission from the Pope to be married and to leave France. So they waited for that to come. Oh, I wanted to interject also. He said he would come back for her after the war, and she told me she didn't expect him to show up, but he did. He actually went back. They petitioned the Pope to be married, and they were married and came to the U.S. I will say that I was honored to sing this song at some of her birthdays and some of their anniversaries, and also at her funeral. It is entitled, self-titled, Marguerite. I am Marguerite. It is with pleasure that again we meet. Your father, he worked with mine. Do you remember we played together back in Belgium, 1939? We were young and could not believe how terrible this world could be. But when the grown-ups whispered fearfully, the children listened carefully. Back in Belgium, 1943. Oh, how that war changed everything. Nights of lights and that awful thundering. When I grew up, I left that place, married a soldier from United States. But when my father died, I could not return. Our kids were young, we had to work. In Boston, 1954. Now, how could it be that today two women, now old and gray, would meet again after all this time in a cafe on a winter day, Minnesota, 1989. Now you say that you lost everyone. Oh yes, we always wondered where you'd gone. Je suis Marguerite. C'est un plaisir de vous connaître. Votre père travaille avec le mien. Vous rappelez-vous, nous jouons ensemble en Belgique 1939. Thank you so much. I'll do something on a lighter note. And I can dedicate this one to the folks at the Rail River and anyone else who happens to be a railroad or depot aficionado. It's called the Freight Train Blues. He was born in Dixie in a boomer shack, just a little shanty by the railroad track. The humming of the driver was his lullaby, and a freight train whistle taught him how to cry. His daddy was a fireman and his mama dear, she was the only daughter of an engineer. Sister loves a brakeman and it is no joke. It's a wonder how she keeps her good man broke. He's got the freight train blues. He's got him in the bottom of his rambling shoes. When a whistle blows, he's got to go. Oh, Lordy, well, I guess he's never going to lose the freight train blues.
Airplanes and autos always leave him cold, and the steamboat whistle never stirs his soul. The only thing that makes him want to navigate is a wildcat whistle on a southbound freight. Well, he rambles through the cities, he travels through the towns, and he never can find a place to stop and settle down. Every time he finds a place he wants to stay, then a whistle blows and he's on his way. He's got the freight train blues. He's got him in the bottom of his rambling shoes. When a whistle blows, he's got to go on.